Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking about AMC. We saw a pretty bearish move to open up the market, pushing down to the $6 marker, and it's looking like things could possibly get worse for AMC. So there is a little bit of news I do want to cover about a potential large shareholder considering the fact of getting rid of the positions, and it's looking like this is becoming a high possibility, so we need to talk about that. Tomorrow there is big news with a new short interest being released, so that's going to be a lot of anticipated volume, most likely kicking in on the after hours here. Looking at this range, it's looking more bearish than bullish at this moment, but I do see the potential for upside still. So I'm going to go over both of the viewpoints. I'm going to go over how this shareholder could potentially really hurt the value of the stock and why it's important for retail holders to potentially continue holding at this point. This is just my opinion, so do your own due diligence. Before we get into that content, I need you to do one thing and one thing only. Hit that sub button down below, leave a thumbs up, and have the notifications turned on. I'm posting videos every single day regarding the stocks that I am trading and the stocks my viewers are requesting. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. Right off the bat, we need to talk about the major shareholder considering selling their position. And I'm going to go into exactly why it's looking like they're considering that fact, because they actually converted their Class B stocks into Class A, which now allows them to get rid of those positions. So let's go over that right now. Chances are you've seen this article or something about this article mentioning Wanda considering selling their overall shares. And it's looking like it's becoming a high probability, not a possibility at this point. China's Wanda Group, the major shareholder of AMC Entertainment Holdings, conducted a share conversion to permit sales of its stock in the cinema operator, a target of recent Wall Street Bet's retail frenzy of AMC, said in a recent filing exchange. Wanda Entertainment, a Wanda unit, converted its Class B stock to AMC Class A shares on February 1st in order to permit the sales of a common stock, AMC said in a filing to the United States Securities Exchange Commission on February 5th. So it took them a while to announce that news, which I don't like from AMC, kind of waiting as long as possible to release that news, which is not something you want to see for a company. So they're kind of like trying to stop the hemorrhaging of the overall stock, but the value is coming down. I don't know why they would even wait. It kind of just hurts them more than it needs to. The filing did not give the details to the amount of stock converted to Class A shares or say whether Wanda had sold any shares in AMC. Wanda did not immediately return a request for the comment. Another thing to notice here, AMC is not giving you the amount of stock they converted. That's pretty bad news. The fact that they waited 4 days to overall give this news away, it doesn't have me believing that they didn't change over a major position that they have. If you don't know, Wanda is a majority stakeholder in the company, so that's worth mentioning as well. This could get very, very bearish for AMC. AMC shares touched 1725 on February 1st. That's the day that those shares were converted, almost quadrupling from a week earlier, as social media platforms such as Reddit fueled into the buying heavily shorted stocks such as AMC, GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond, Naked Brands, Nokia, and stuff like that. AMC shares plunged 41% the next day, and the stock is now down 60% from its February 1st peak. So overall, AMC waits to give this news out. They wait until 4 days after that first overall peak, and now we're trending down. And now they're not giving the exact amount of shares that they converted. This is pretty worrisome that they're not releasing this information overall, and it doesn't have me feeling very good about the company and the transparency of the company. Now I'm going to go over the bullish thesis that I have behind it as well, because it's not all bad. I do believe there is potential upside with AMC. The short interest could really see a kick up in the volume from retail investing if the short interest comes down pretty bad, which I believe the short interest has raised. I do think that that is a extremely high possibility. But let's look at the charts overall right now. The first thing we're going to do is look at the overall stock price. You can see that from that open that we have circled here, we shot directly down, about to 565, kind of trending back up, flagging if you will. It looks like we want to make another push down, sitting at $6.07. Doesn't look great right there. Sitting above, the VWAP has the momentum still pushing on the bearish side of things. I do think there's a high possibility on the after hours AMC does in fact get a push up, because that short interest news and the overall hype behind short interest being released tomorrow has me looking overall bullish any short-term aspect. But now there's 3 overall resistance and supports we need to break through if we're looking at the stock. Now we have that $6.70 range here. We have that new $8.60-70 range up there, and then of course the $10 range up there. So now there's 3 giant levels of resistance for the stock to have to push through, which does not look good. Looking at the OBV, we continue to get rejected each time we test the trend. Looking very bad as well. I don't like what's going on overall with the chart and the volume, but looking at short interest, I'd be a liar to say that I'm not bullish going into tomorrow. I think there's a lot of potential upside. But people telling people to buy at this level of $6 and saying that we're going to the moon and stuff, that's not a great thesis to have. Being a day trader, especially in this market, what I'm looking for is an overall break and hold. So you want to see a break, a retest, and then continue to get movement like this. So you want to get some confirmation before you start entering any type of trades like this, because you're trading based solely on hype, Wall Street bets, and ultimately a prayer. I'm getting a lot of people in the live streams asking. I'm getting a lot of people in the live streams, just saying, are we going up? Are we going up? And they're asking blind questions. They don't really have any real thesis or thought behind their questions. They're really just hoping for some type of bullish answer in hopes to ease their thoughts. And that's not the type of guy that I am. I'm not just going to give you the answer you want to hear. I'm not a yes man. So when you come to this channel, you're going to get my honest opinion and feedback on the stock. I think there's a lot of manipulation going on with the price. I think that people aren't telling you what's really going on with the shorts. I think that Robinhood really screwed people when it comes to shutting down the trading on the stock as well. One of the biggest robberies probably of this decade is what Robinhood did and a lot of these other brokers by shutting down the overall trading. And it's not talked about that much anymore. It's really been just shoved underneath the rug. But going into tomorrow, I do see some potential upside getting above that VWAP today. Maybe get some upside to like that $7 marker. It's going to be interesting to see the overall outlook people have with that short interest. I highly anticipate it being pushed higher than 70%. I want to see 80 to 90% on that short interest to be bullish on the stock more for potentially maybe a short squeeze. But long term, I'm still looking to get some buys underneath that $4.50 to $4 range down here. This is where I want to start adding to the long-term position because I do believe the company will end up getting sold. I'm not a long-term bull in the company. I think that their outlook is pretty terrible, but the short squeeze looks like it has potential. Still, especially that short interest does start ramping up as well. The sale of the company looks like it's imminent as well, but you're not going to see any of those offerings kick in until the valuation of the company really starts getting closer to the true value of that $3 to $4 range, because that's really the value of the stock right now. Their overall reopening plan is not that beneficial and doesn't look that great as well, so take those into account. The long-term aspect on AMC has not changed for me. It does not look that positive. The positives right now are the short squeeze and then also being acquired by a company like Amazon or Netflix. Amazon, I'm not too excited about Amazon. I would be really excited if Netflix made a move into the position. That's something I could really see going very well for Netflix. Looking at the chart, like I said, not too much to cover. You want to see a break and hold of the VWAP on these shorter time frames and getting a move back up. I think on the after hours, we see a lot of volume kick in tonight. It's going to be interesting to see how we open up tomorrow. I'll be live after this video, so you guys can definitely tune in there, asking me a few questions on the stock. You're going to get a transparent and clear answer from me. I'm not a perma bull or anything like that. Also, you can check out my next video going over a stock that I'm pretty bullish on. It's at a very good fair value right now, but you have to be careful because the VIX is at an all-time low, around $10 right now. If you're trading the UVXY, if you're looking at the VIX, it's sub $20, which is looking very, very bearish for the economy as a whole. So be careful, guys. I know this video wasn't too positive, and I don't really like to make these negative videos, but it's my honest feedback on the stock and the company overall. So I hope you can respect that and, give me an educated response down below, because I'm really looking forward to answering some of these questions. I think right now buying at this level is just risky. I think it's extremely risky, and retail investors are selling off massively right now. That's what's really hurting the stock as well. Not only are we getting news of these big investors and shareholders potentially selling out, but also retail investors are selling out on any type of uptick that we're getting on the stock. That's very, very bearish for AMC. So retail investors are selling, and now we're having the big shareholders like Wanda converting stocks to Class A. And there's no real reason to convert to Class A unless you're thinking there's going to be a major sell-off. So those are a few things you need to be taking into account. It's not looking great. We need the short interest to really spike up tomorrow if you're looking for a really big bullish push in the short term. That's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Make sure you hit that sub button down below, leave a thumbs up, and have the notifications turned on. It's not looking good for AMC, but I'll have more updates coming along every single day. Have a good one, guys. Namaste.